What's going on? It's Saturday. That means it's, what? The night before NFL, week 11. I can't believe it's already here. What's up, new guy? I'm the Degenerate 75. I'm a high-limit DFS player who focuses on golf and football, and I've been on a fucking heater, so you probably picked a good time to find my channel, you motherfather. If you don't know, the big guy stays busy. Here's my schedule. Make plenty of content, so if you like the cut of my jib, come check it out. Also, I hope you know that I'm doing a big $100 giveaway on this show. Am I going to do it right now? No, I'm not, because if I do, you'll leave. You'll wait till the end of the show, so hang around. $100, just going to give it out. You can see all the names on there. Lots of people are up for it, so maybe it'll be you. Let's get going. We're going to talk about the weather tomorrow because if you don't know, it's fucking freezing across America right now. So bad that in Buffalo, you know, like where they love to play in the snow and the harsh conditions, even the people in Buffalo were like, nope, not doing it. We're going across, I don't know, what is that, Lake Michigan maybe? Erie? I don't know. I don't have my Great Lakes memorized. Shut up. And they're going to go play over in Detroit. So this game is going to be in the Dome. So instead of being in horrific conditions, this game is now in beautiful conditions. Maybe, unless they turn the air conditioning down a little too far in the Dome. So that game is going to be very appealing now. Who doesn't want to play Josh Allen, right? So you've got that. All the other games, nothing seems to be too bad. A lot of Dome games tomorrow, so, weather's not going to be as big of an issue as we thought, even though it's balls cold around the country. Let's go talk a little contest selection. NFL Classic slate tomorrow. You see the big $20 $1 million to first? You playing it? You're a dumbass, and you probably shouldn't watch this show because I am here to help you not lose money. And the best way you can do that is stop playing in donkey dick contests like this. You're just giving it away. It is such a negative EV tournament. I'll make you a deal. If you'll max enter this, I'll leave you alone. But if you're not entering it and you're still playing, don't talk to me, Bob. Don't talk to me. That's stupid. The 444, you're not playing in that. Okay? And the kind of people that are, they can afford a negative EV tournament like that because they're plus EV players. But what you need to be doing is focusing on good tournaments where 10% goes to first place. And then another, 10% of that goes to 10th place. So it has a good payout structure, like the $20 3 max or the $3 20 max is what I'm trying to say. Just such better tournaments. Stick to single entry, 5 max, 3 max, no more than a 20 max. Here's just the greatest rule ever to follow. I'll say it every time. If you get tired of me saying it, deal with it, Bob. Only play in contests that you're willing to max. And the easiest ones of those is a single entry, right? That's what you're going to do. I say this stuff every show. I'll never stop saying it. It is the first place you're blowing your money. All right, by the way, I have a free contest. There's one you should play in. Go take your favorite lineup and throw it in this contest. The first 200 people get into it, and you win. The first place is just a free ticket on me into the Millionaire Maker next week that I'll buy. We'll split 50-50. Pretty good deal. If you get second place, because second place sucks, you get a free month on my Discord, which every person who's got that just ends up staying over there. So there you go. Last week's winner, give it up to my boy, JSizzle21. Me and him are making a Millionaire Maker lineup tomorrow. Hey, while I got your attention, do me a favor. The big guy is almost to 2,000 subscribers. Why don't you go drop a like and a sub because you can't help but notice. You can't help but notice there's no ads on this video because I'm not a fucking poor, and I don't want to waste your time sitting there making you pew-pew click on everything. All right, let's get to the slate. We'll be using Run the Sims to break down the slate. I think it's the best tool-assisted site out there. You should go check it out. If you do, use my code DGen75. Get you 20% off. The first game, Atlanta and Chicago. If you don't know, Justin Fields is going to be the most popular quarterback on the slate again. How do I know this? Well, A, he's playing the Falcons. That's good. B, he's in a dome. And C, he was Mega Chalk last week. And I guess C-2 is not only was he Mega Chalk, he smashed the slate as Mega Chalk. And people at DFS love to play with their feels. And, I got to play him. He got me there last week because they're dumbasses. And so Justin Fields, once again, I promise you, will be the highest owned quarterback. If anybody, really the only person that could even challenge him is Josh Allen. So you need to ask yourself, are you afraid of the Justin Fields breaking the slate 2 weeks in a row chalk? Me personally, I'm not. As you can see, the optimizer, it doesn't love him. I will say, Atlanta's not a very good defense. If there's a team you could do it against, you can. But that price tag just keeps getting pricier and pricier and pricier. And he is still not a very efficient passer. So you're really dependent on his legs. And one day maybe a defensive coordinator will be like, hey, maybe we should put a spy on this motherfather. Maybe just try it out. He's still horrific to stack. Yes, people stacked him with Cole Kmet last week, and he got there. But, outside of Kmet and Mooney, he's just super hard to stack. And, I honestly, I would only stack him with one guy if I do. I'd run a skinny stack. A bring back that you could think of is Cordell Patterson. But honestly, with Atlanta, you got Pitts, London, and Cordell Patterson, really the only three you could even consider. To me, what I think I'm going to do, I'm just going to go hop in here, play some David Montgomery. I hope he pilfers 2 or 3 touchdowns, has a slate breaker game, and not only will he be killing it for my lineups, he'll be killing everybody else's Justin Fields lineups. Moving over to Carolina and Baltimore, my God, Baltimore, Lamar is like sick and might not, like we don't know. He's probably going to play, but like, will he be limited, or is he going to do the Michael Jordan where like he goes out and has the game of his life because he's sick? Good news is he does have Mark Andrews back, which he desperately needs. Mark Andrews makes Lamar Jackson just a different level of quarterback. So if Lamar is active and he's going to come in at 5%, here's a good rule to follow. Anytime you see Lamar under 5%, just put him in one of your stacks. And if you do that every time you see Lamar under 5%, he will randomly go off 2 or 3 times over a 2-year span for you and will always pay it off. So something to consider. If nobody wants to play Lamar, my big ass will get on him. He's very stackable with Mark Andrews. And you've also got Duvernay and Robinson if you need some nice cheap punt options to stack with him. Here's the problem. Carolina sucks. I love Baker Mayfield. If you don't know, I'm a Sooner, and I want him to do well. But, I just don't really think that he's going to be doing it. PJ Walker is out. Baker's starting. I need to see it from him first. To me, DJ Moore is probably the only reasonable run back, but, man, this game could be slow and sloggy and not very DFS friendly, if you know what I'm saying. Moving over to Washington and Houston, this is one of those games where I just always, people see the total and they say 40. I can't play anybody in that game. Total's too low. Okay, well, I have a theory that whenever 2 shitty teams play, that they're both so bad that they cancel out and make each other good. And so maybe, like, you could get away with, like, a really sneaky Tyler Heineke stack. Heineke snack. That sounds delicious, actually. He has great options to stack with. McLaurin, you could get away with even Gibson, who's getting involved in the passing game. Curtis Samuel, very viable. And then you've always got the Dameon Pierce run back, or if you're a sicko, Collins and Cook. So that's just a sneaky one to consider. When 2 bad teams play, sometimes they end up being good teams because they're so bad at defense, their offenses look really good. I think that the most forgotten about player on this slate that should just be the mega chalk and is not is Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is playing in a dome in Indianapolis. He's playing the Colts, who are not noted for great defense, and he's playing the Colts, who have started to show a pulse on offense and might be able to actually push the Eagles, so we don't just have Jalen Hurts handing the ball off every play in the third quarter like we've had for half of his games so far this season. If Jalen Hurts gets pushed at 8,200, we know what he offers with his legs. He's become a much more efficient passer. Dallas Goedert is on the IR as of today, so we know that his targets are going to be concentrated more on A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and now we have 2 really nice punt tight ends in Stahl and Jackson that you could put in there to help offset his really expensive price. On top of that, you have a Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman run back. Both of those are very viable options. Jonathan Taylor finally looked electric again. He looked explosive last week, and so that makes a lot of sense. And if you're a really filthy whore, maybe you even run a Matt Ryan stack and run it back with Eagles. I don't know if I would do that. I like my quarterbacks to be able to run for more than negative 58 yards, but you know what? It's worth considering. The Jets in New England, yeah, this is not a great kosher game. If anything, I want to come in here and I want to get a cheap wide receiver or a running back. And look at that. The 2 best plays in the game, Ramondre Stevenson, a running back, and a cheap wide receiver named Garrett Wilson, who has shown that this happens every year. Rookie wide receivers are always inherently undervalued at DFS. So you take advantage of that because DraftKings is always too slow to price them up. Garrett Wilson, based on his recent performance, should probably be like 5,800. He's at 4,900. He's clearly the team's number 1 receiver. He'll probably get somewhere 8 to 10 targets. And if he gets 1 touchdown, he's going to be a mega play. He's going to be a smash play. I also don't think Jacoby Myers is that gross as the one receiving option for New England. This could be a place where you don't want to stack this game. You don't. But you could go in here and get a nice correlation between run Ramondre on one side, run it back with Wilson, or a Wilson and Myers, something like that, right? So that's how you can get a little bit in this game without, stepping on your own dick and playing too many guys from a game that's going to have like a 38-point total. Am I right? What do we got? The Rams. Oh, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's done. They're playing at New Orleans. This game has as you can see, a really terrible total of only 39. Alvin Kamara, he's like one of those guys like Lamar Jackson. Anytime I see his ownership start to creep down to single digits, I just play him. And I do that every time, and it tends to pay off for me because he just gets those random 35 burgers all the time, right? So Kamara, definitely the most appealing player in this game. I think, you always got Chris Olave, but here's a sneaky one for you, bro. Here's a real sneaky one for you. You ready for this? Jarvis Landry. He's back, and he's only 4,500, and he he in his past has tended to be a target monster. Maybe Tyler Higbee, I think at 4,000, you could definitely do worse than him. He's probably going to see an uptick of 2 to 3 more targets with Cooper Kupp being out. You just have to wonder if old dusty-ass Matthew Stafford can get it to him. The last one to consider is maybe now Allen Robinson becomes that wide receiver everybody wanted him to be. To me, if you can't get it done when you have Cooper Kupp on the field, you sure as shit ain't going to get it done when he's off the field, but we don't know until we see it. So there is that to consider. Probably the chalkiest game of the week, and it makes sense. Cleveland has actually had a pretty efficient offense this year, even though it's been with Jacoby Brissett at the helm. They do have enough offense. They run the ball well enough. They hit enough big runs. They can score enough points to push the Bills. And the biggest problem you usually run into with Josh Allen is they're usually up 28-3 in the third quarter, and they're not getting pushed. When he gets pushed, he's almost like a guaranteed 25 to 30 point floor. And this game offers that, I think. They're going to be in the nicer conditions. I already told you they're playing in the Dome. So you got Josh Allen, who will probably be pretty jockey. He'll probably be the second highest owned quarterback, only behind Slapdick Fields. But you could get creative with him, right? Just play Josh Allen with one pass catcher and maybe a Devin Singletary, right? Maybe just run that skinny stack with him. Or maybe run the Brissett stack and then bring it back with Diggs or Knox or somebody like that, or even Singletary, right? So now you can have access to this game, but you're playing in a way that's different than everybody else is, right? Because this is a good game environment that you're going to want some action in. The key is, how do you get action that not everybody else has to really differentiate your DFS lineup from everybody else? Detroit and the Giants, let's see here. Amon-Ra St. Brown, probably the best wide receiver on the slate as far as projections go. He's looking very good. The Giants have given up lots of plays. The Lions are without some receivers, so you've got to think he's going to be a usage monster. Wouldn't surprise me to see a third of all the targets go to him tomorrow. Saquon Barkley is an unbelievable play against the Lions' piece of shit defense. We're all guilty of watching Hard Knocks and being like, yep, this is the year. The Lions have a good defense. No, they don't. No, they don't. You fell for it. I fell for it. We all fell for it. Okay? They have this rookie 6th round pick from Oklahoma State. They're going to have a good defense. No, they're not. No, they're not. So, Saquon Barkley, only problem is he's starting to get up there into super elite pricing. When you start to touch $9,000, you're getting to another stratosphere of pricing. And at DraftKings, where they don't ever want to give you any free squares, $9,000 is real hard to fit into your lineup. And $8,900 ain't much easier, brother. Unless you're feeling slimy and you want to do it with a Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Wan'Dale Robinson stack, grody. Run it back with Amon-Ra. I'm just saying, this is definitely a sneaky game that could shoot out. Could definitely a sneaky shootout, right? So you got to watch that one. If you're a real filthy whore, maybe you go check out a Jared Goff stack, because it's pretty obvious. He doesn't have a lot of options to throw to. You go run Jared Goff with Amon-Ra, and then you either complete it with Khalif Raymond or Jamal Williams. And I would say consider DeAndre Swift, but apparently the Lions have decided they're going to save him for next year so the next coaching staff can have success with him. Dumbasses, you're going to get fired. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm emotionally connected to them. This is what Hard Knocks does to you, man. All right, let's get to the afternoon games. We only got 3 of them. It's an 11-game slate tomorrow. Nice to be off 10. If you don't know, Jerry Jeudy is out, so you got to assume that usage is going to be used up somewhere. Maybe Russell Wilson decides not to suck for a game, and if there's ever a team that you can get out of a slump against, it's the Raiders, right? And so maybe Russell Wilson could get there. Cortland Sutton is going to be his primary target, but then you also got to factor in Greg Dulcich has been living up to the hype, and he's still $3,800, very moderately priced. And the best part about this is the Raiders have very nice run back options with Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams, right? Makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, it's hard to play Russell Wilson because the dude's just fucking weird. The dude's weird, and there's the whole middle ground where he sucks. By the way, Matt Collins is even a reasonable run back. If you're a real slimy bastard and you like to be different than everybody else, maybe even a Derek Carr stack, right? A Derek Carr with a Devontae Adams or Foster Moreau, Mac Hollins, and then you run it back with Sutton. Ain't nobody going to play that, Bob. Nobody's going to play it. And if I remember right, didn't we looked at the weather? I didn't see any concerning weather there in Denver. Yeah, 46 and clear manana. So that seems like a reasonable play to me. Worst places to get it in here. We do need to monitor Devontae Adams as he was limited in practice Friday, but that's just like old man not wanting to practice shit. You know what I mean? All right, definitely the chalkiest game of the afternoon. Probably my favorite game on the slate. that isn't, like the obvious chalk. It is this Dallas-Minnesota game. First of all, Justin Jefferson. If you don't know, I just always say play that guy. I thought I was so smart last week playing a Josh Allen stack with a run back with Jefferson, and it did really well until I saw Josh Fields had 498 points. And then I was like, oh, this lineup's not that good anymore. So if you run Minnesota, I think that makes a lot of sense. Kirk Cousins is a great stack play. Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, even KJ Osborne are all viable options to run out there with him. And then for the Cowboys, especially if we get word that Zeke's out, you run it back with Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz. They have such great options. And on the flip side, if you want to get on this game, I don't think you could go wrong running a Dak Prescott stack. Matter of fact, if I just run 2 stacks tomorrow, there's a chance that all my stacks will either be Dak stacks or Cousins stacks because I like the guys that I can stack with them and I like the run back from the other team, right? If I'm running a Dak stack, I'm pumped to run it back with Jefferson. I'm pumped to run it back with a Dalvin Cook. If I am running a Kirk Cousins stack, I am very content running it back with a Tony Pollard, running it back with a CeeDee Lamb, running it back with even somebody like Dalton Schultz or Noah Brown. I'm totally okay with that. So because of that, this is a game that has my interest. And the good news is I can go in the morning, in the earlier games and play like some one-offs, some correlated plays that are not super chalky. And if they hit, well, now I can just play all my favorite chalky plays from this game and not have to worry about it. And if they shit the bed in the early games, well, now I can go pivot off of a Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott, maybe go get on a Derek Carr or Russell Wilson stack. Gross. But that's playing the game, right? That's playing the game. That's the biggest advantage in late swap is seeing how your guys do early and then adjusting late. The last game, Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, kind of a gross game. The good thing you can say about this is Joe Mixon and T. Higgins are usage monsters now for the Bengals. They're probably going to be in a favorable game script where, that Mixon's probably going to get a lot of carries. T. Higgins will probably get a lot of targets. They both seem like super safe plays in this game, even though it's not a high total. I kind of like to just jump in here and grab these guys as a one-off as opposed to trying to get any correlation because who the hell are you going to correlate from the Steelers? Maybe Freiermuth, I guess. But like as far as stacking, I guess Deontay would be a decent run back, but I'm not trying to stack Joe Burrow, and I sure as shit am not trying to stack old Kenny Pickett. So this is a game that there's some really good options, but I just don't think it's very stackable, nor am I even really looking to correlate in this game. I'm just going to come in here, grab my Mixon, and go put him with another lineup I like. Go grab my Higgins and put him in a lineup I like. And then if those lineups are doing shitty earlier in the day, I'll go pivot that to a less chalky option, right? I'll go switch it to Devontae Adams or Josh Jacobs or someone like that, right? So that's what we'll do. By the way, if all of this is a lot of information, I make this thing called the Rosetta Stone right here, right? I make this for my Discord. Breaks it down. I tell them what's the target game, the chalk game, the sneaky games, everybody's ownership, if they're a good correlation play, a one-off, if they're just only stackable, and try to break it down because it's a lot of information. So that's what this does. The injury watch, do it all. I do that for my Discord. If you're interested in that, it's been blowing up like fucking crazy. It's right here. It's connected through my Patreon. Get over there, check it out. I do college football, NFL football, and golf. It's quite the community over there. Pretty cool. People like it. All right, last thing, make sure to go give me a follow on Twitter and on YouTube. Blasted past 5,000, as you can see, in less than 6 months. And that is why we're doing this $100 giveaway, to thank all of you for retweeting and leaving comments. My dude Nuggets, man of the people, is sponsoring this. He hit a huge GPP on Hoedown and wanted to thank me. And I told him, all right, I'm not going to take your money, but if you want to sponsor a giveaway, we can do that. He happily agreed to it. So we're doing 4 $100 giveaways thanks to Nuggets. Furthermore, he's taking his family to Disneyland, and that's cool as shit. Let's go, Nuggets. There's nothing better than when DFS allows you to do cool shit in your life. So here we go. This is for a $100 ticket, or if you want, I'll split a $200 single entry with you, right? I'll put up another 100, and we'll just enter it and split the winners. There it is. No others. No others. You're the winner. Reach out to me. YouTube comment here, on Twitter. My email is thedegenerate75. I believe, at gmail.com. Just reach out to me. I'll PayPal you $100, or we'll do a $200 single entry, whatever you want, man. I hope you guys have enjoyed this show. I hope you, to see you again. I hope you come check out my busy-ass schedule. And more than anything, I hope you win some money. But for right now, I just hope you enjoy my outro.